Today we are focused on the differences between general thermometer and clinical thermometer. This general thermometer is sometimes called laboratory thermometer also, and that's why we are doing differences between laboratory thermometer and clinical thermometer. Actually, thermometer is divided into two types according to their construction and use, and they are general thermometer and clinical thermometer according to construction and use. But sometimes what can we say, thermometer is divided into two types according to the thermometric substance what is used inside thermometer. They may be mercury, just for example, mercury and mercury thermometer, and another one is alcohol thermometer. This is also a kind of classification or division of thermometer. According to the thermometric substance, a thermometer can be classified into two types: mercury thermometer, alcohol thermometer. But according to the structure and use, it is classified into general thermometer and clinical thermometer. Okay, let's talk about first this mercury thermometer and alcohol thermometer. If you remember, it was done in previous class also. I told you this is alcohol thermometer. Look at this. Alcohol is colored and it is made red for the easy identification. I mean to say easily we can see in this capillary. That's why it is colored like red color. Now this is mercury thermometer. This is mercury. Here it is filled in glass ball and it rises in the capillary. And what liquid is used according to that? Mercury thermometer, this one; alcohol thermometer, this one. But today we are going to focus about another matter. I don't want to show this alcohol thermometer now. I want to show you some another type of thermometer. It's like this. This is also mercury thermometer. This is also mercury thermometer, but this is called general thermometer and this is called clinical thermometer. General thermometer and clinical thermometer, these two. Now we are going to find out differences between these two, general thermometer and clinical thermometer. Let's talk about them. We can differentiate them in terms of these 5 points. It's very easy to remember. That's why shortcut I wrote this point. We are not writing this point in examination, but you can remember this way. Okay. Now, according to shape and size, we can differentiate them. How? Look at this. This is thick and long. It's thick and long. But this one very thin and short in comparison with this. And have you noticed this? This is round. I mean to say its stem is round, but this is somewhat prismatic. Prismatic means what? 3 sides are there. This one side, 2 side, and 3 side. It is made prismatic to see the mercury thread clearly by turning it. Sometimes it becomes thicker when mercury when temperature has to be taken, and then after taking the temperature we have to see the thread of mercury at which point it is there. I mean to say what is the reading. Now we can see it by turning. Because of prismatic shape we can identify the temperature. That's why we can see one of the point this way. It is thick. Which one? Generally is thick and long. But this one, clinical thermometer, it is what? Thin, short, and what? Prismatic. Prismatic in shape. Okay, this is one difference between these two. Now second, according to use, we can write the difference between them. this one, I mean to say this general thermometer or laboratory thermometer, it is used to measure temperature of different substances in lab. It is used to measure what? Temperature of different substances. I am writing very shortly, you can remember this. Now, for what purpose this is used? Clinical thermometer, it is used to measure temperature of human body. Temperature of human body. Okay, according to use, this difference can be written. Now, let's talk about third one. Calibration. How they are calibrated. We can write the difference of calibration also. Look at this. It is calibrated from 0 degree, not 0 degree, here it is -10. -10 degrees Celsius. Normally in many books it is written from 0 to 100, but nowadays this general thermometer available in laboratory has got -10 degrees Celsius. Look at this, it is -10 degrees Celsius to last one, what? 110. This is a 110 degrees Celsius. It is calibrated from -10 to 110 degrees Celsius. But look at this one. This is calibrated from what? In degrees Celsius, it is calibrated from 35 degrees Celsius. Look at this, 35 degrees Celsius to what? 42 degrees Celsius. 42 degrees Celsius. If you want to know in Fahrenheit scale, look at this, it is calibrated from 95 degree Fahrenheit to 108 degree Fahrenheit. Here it is written degree Fahrenheit also. Here it is written degree Celsius. Okay, this is another difference which can be written. This is calibrated from -10 degrees Celsius to what? 110 degrees Celsius. But this one, it is calibrated from what? 35 degree Celsius to 42 degree Celsius, or it is calibrated from 95 degree Fahrenheit to 108 degree Fahrenheit. This is another major difference between these two. Now let's talk about another point, constriction. What is it? Constriction means there's no constriction at all. Here it is, there is no constriction above the glass ball. The capillary is seen here. There's no any constriction, no any curve, no any marking, and nothing is there. There's no constriction. But have you noticed this? Here we have a constriction just above the glass ball. Capillary is torn like an English letter C. Like an English letter C. Yeah, capillary is torn. It provides very narrow path for the mercury to pass through it. And this is constriction. Here it is just above the glass wall. That's why, what can we see? Another difference we can say like this. It is not constricted. Which one? General thermometer, not constricted. It is constricted just above the glass ball. Okay, sometimes question may be like this also. What is constriction? Then you can write this way. What is constriction in this clinical thermometer? Just above the glass ball, capillary of clinical thermometer is torn like an English letter C, which produces very narrow path for the mercury to pass through it. And it is called what? Constriction. This way constriction can be defined. Now, what is the reason of constriction? Why the clinical thermometer only constricted. What the reason? Why should we provide this constriction? The reason is very simple. When we measure temperature of any substance in laboratory by using this thermometer, we have to make contact of this glass ball with that substance. If it is water, will immerse in it. If it is solution, will immerse in it, and we can see the rise of temperature in capillary. Yeah, but in this case, if we are going to measure body temperature, either we have to put this into armpit, or we have to put this into the mouth, under the tongue. And while taking it under the tongue, we cannot see the temperature because our eye is a different place and it is under the tongue. How can we see the temperature? And under the armpit also, how can we see the temperature? And when it is removed from the mouth or from under our armpit, then the raised temperature will fall down. I mean to say, mercury, which is raised in capillary, will fall down immediately because the glass bulb is not in contact with human body. Now it is in contact with atmosphere. That's why it is difficult to measure temperature by thermometer, temperature of human body by thermometer. So this is designed in such a way that the mercury expanded and raised in capillary should remain in the same place after the measurement of human body temperature. And so it is constricted, and from constriction point it cannot fall down because this very narrow path, and just the contraction of mercury cannot pass through this constriction point and cannot fall down to this glass ball, and measurement of temperature is possible. If there is no constriction, then measurement won't be possible. Okay, that's why clinical thermometer is constricted, but no need of constriction in general thermometer. Okay, now let's talk about another point. Have you noticed this? This is clinical thermometer. Here we have an arrow mark, and this arrow mark is at 98.6 degree Fahrenheit, and the same is in 37 degrees Celsius. What is this? The normal human body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius in Celsius scale, and the same is equal to 98.6 degree Fahrenheit. And this clinical thermometer is marked here. I mean to say, arrow marked here. What it means? This is normal human body temperature. If mercury thread rises above it, then we have fever. If mercury thread is under this arrow mark, I mean to say towards the left hand side, this side below, then we have no any fever at all. For this understanding, I mean to say, this is very simple understanding. To understand this very clearly, there is an arrow mark. That's why what I'm writing here, arrow mark. Now what can we say about this? There is no arrow mark. No arrow mark. There is no any arrow mark on the surface of general thermometer, stem of general thermometer, but in clinical thermometer there is an arrow mark. Arrow mark on the stem at normal human body temperature. Okay, these are 5 major differences between general thermometer and clinical thermometer, and our target was to differentiate between them with different points. It's completed. That's why this much for today.